everyone. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, please take out your all-in-one guide. And today we will focus on topic 6. Ready? Okay, are you ready? Okay, today we'll focus on topic 6, and the topic is about the age problem. This is a very popular topic in both competitions and the GP. So, okay, everyone, if you have the guide, please take out your guide, okay? And also prepare your pencil and a piece of blank paper, because later I will share some extra questions with you. Are you ready? Yes or no? Are you ready? Okay, firstly, let me check. Everyone, can you hear me clearly? Sorry, I wear the master today, but can you hear me clearly? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can or cannot? Okay, good. So here, firstly, everyone, let's have a look again. We start from a general introduction of such topic in P2 to P4 SASMO exams in the past 5 years. As you can see that on your book, you see this topic is also one of the more commonly tested points in GEP, with questions appearing in both the screening and selective rounds of the GEP exam. So basically, later we are going to know how to draw the models or the arrows to solve such problem. So here, everyone, don't be lazy. Please prepare your pencil. Okay, no sound? No sound? Okay, so firstly, everyone, let's start from one warm-up question. As you can see, if I just tell you teacher Apple is 10 years old this year and teacher Mew is 8 years old this year, then could you please tell me what is the difference between their ages? What is the difference? Correct, it should be 2, right? Okay, and then what about in the last year? 1 year ago, teacher Apple was 9 years old and the teacher Mew was 7 years old. So again, could you please tell me what is the difference between their ages in the last year? Correct, also 2, okay? And then following this, you see that what about when it comes to 2 years ago? There you can see teacher Apple was only 8 years old and teacher Mew was 6 years old. And again, the difference was 2. Then what about in the future? Let's count how old will teacher Apple be in 1 year later? Correct. Teacher Apple will be 11 years old and teacher Mew will be 9 years old. Then you can see that the difference is still 2. So actually here, everyone, you see that you just based on the table, what kind of conclusion can you get? Let's pay attention to the difference part. When it comes to the age difference, actually remember that the age difference between 2 people always remains the same. That is, when one person is getting older, the other person is getting older as well. And also, if one person was younger, the other person was younger as well. Okay, so this is the first key point. Then let's have some quick quiz. Okay, I will introduce the sum later. Let's move on to the quick quiz. So for the first one, as you can see, Kara is 4 years older than Shannon. What is the difference between their age in 10 years? Okay, have a try, A or B. A or B. Okay, correct. So you can see that the difference is just 4 years, right? Because in 10 years, we know that Kara will be older and also Shannon will be older as well. So here you see what is the key point? That is, the difference never changes. Okay, and then following this, what about 5 years ago? Jeffrey is 6 years younger than Qi. Oh, sorry, it should be was. Okay, Jeffrey was 6 years younger than Qi. So what is the difference between their age now? What is it? Okay, is it 6 plus 5? No, right? Okay, we know that the age difference, what happened? The age difference never changes. Okay, and then next one. Jingjing is 10 years old. Jiaze is 42 years old. So what is the difference between in their age in 5 years time? That means after 5 years, how old will they? What is the difference? Correct. Again, you can see that you just count their current difference, and then in 5 years time, actually the difference doesn't change. Okay, so always remember the first key point, that is the age difference never changes. So now let's move on to the let's practice part. To be honest, this is a P4 question. As you can see that the question was selected from 2017 Singapore Chinese Girls Schools first semestral assessment. But actually here, everyone, you can have a try by yourself. Let's read the question together. Carrie is 7 years older than her sister. 3 years ago, their total age was 43. So how old is Carrie now? Well, firstly, let me show you. Well, we know that age difference always remains the same. And when it comes to the age problem, you must focus on the year, which year you are calculating. So according to the question, we know that 3 years ago, their total age was 43. So let's label the time first, 3 years ago. Then following this, we can just solve the model. Why? Because here you see that 7 years older, then we know that 7 years should be the difference. And the total age was 43, and then we know that 43 is the sum. So basically, for such question, it is a sum and a difference problem. So when it comes to sum and the difference problem, we always should draw out the model to find the answer. So here, everyone, you see, Carrie is 7 years older. Then we know that her sister's bar model should be shorter, and Carrie's bar model should be longer. Then we know that currently their age difference is 7. And according to what I just told you, you know that the age difference always remains the same. That is, 3 years ago, the age difference was 7 as well. Okay, and then following this, let's label out the sum, that is 43. So following this, everyone, could you please tell me how old was sister when it was 3 years ago? How old was sister? Yes, you know the total, you know the difference. So how can we figure out the equal part? Correct, that is 43 minus 7 and then divided by 2. Then what about the Carrie? Carrie was 18 plus 7, that is 25, right? But can we say that, okay, my final answer is 25? Am I correct? Is it? Yeah, can we just say, okay, my final answer is 25? I'm done. No, okay. So here you see that, again, back to the top. For the model, actually, it can show us their ages 3 years ago. So here, the question is asking you how old is Carrie now? So what should we do? From 3 years ago to now, you see that the gap is 3 years. So following this, we need to add another 3, okay? Yeah, what is the meaning of 25? So now you see that this part is 25, right? And that means Carrie was 25 years old 3 years ago. Understand? But the question is asking you how old is Carrie now? So here you need to plus 3. Yes, correct. So the answer is 28. Okay. So actually here, I want to show you there is another method to solve the same question. So here, what about if I just focus on their current age? So now you will see that again, for the model part, it should be very similar. The difference is always 7. But what about the sum? Can we say that the sum is still 43? Think about it. Actually, no. Why? Because 3 years ago, their total age was 43. Then based on 3 years old, you see that Carrie is getting older. Sister is getting older. So here we need to plus 3 twice. So what about the current sum? It should be 49. And then following this again, you can see that this is about the sum and the difference problem. So here, how can we figure out the equal part? Again, sum minus difference divided by 2. But for carry, you need to add the difference back. Okay, so actually later I will introduce age sum more. Okay, so here I just show you actually we have different ways to solve the same problem. But the most important thing is for the first step, always remember to label the time. Okay. So now following this, let's move on to the multiple part. Here, everyone, let's have a look. Could you please tell me what is the multiple relationship between teacher Apple's age and teacher Mill's age? As you can see, 2 years ago, teacher Apple was 8 years old and teacher Mill was just 2 years old. So could you please tell me what is the multiple relationship between 8 and 2? What is it? What is it? Can you find it? Correct. 8 divided by 2, that is 4. Okay. And then let's have a look. What about 1 year ago? So actually, that is 1 year later, you will see that the teacher Apple is getting older. Okay, now teacher Apple is 9 years old. And teacher Mill was 3 years old. So what is the multiple relationship between 9 and 3? What is it? What is it? 9 and 3? Correct. That is 3 times. Okay. And then following this, what about this year? For this year, teacher Apple is 10 years old. Okay. And teacher Mill is 4 years old. So could you please tell me what is the multiple relationship here? Yeah, 10 divided by 4. I remember that last time I shared the division with remainder with you. Yeah, do you still remember that how to calculate 10 divided by 4? The answer is? Forgot? 10 divided by 4. How many 4 can you find in a 10? Yeah, 2. That is 2 R2, right? Because there is still a remainder, okay? Remainder of 2. So actually, you can see that when it comes to the multiple part, can we say that, okay, multiple relationship never changes? Is it? No. And also, can you find some pattern here? Actually, no, right? So you can see that according to multiple relationship, we know that when you see terms in the question, then terms can only be used for 1 year. That is why, again, it is very important to label which year you are focused on. Okay. So here, again, let's do some quick quiz. Okay, this time maybe I only give you 6 seconds. Okay, let's have a try. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is the answer? A, B, C. I saw some students already choose C. A, B, C, which one? Wow, don't give up so quickly, okay? Correct. So now you see, look, the age of Melissa is 3 times of the age of Sam now. Okay, pay attention. What is the year? Now. So can we say that the age of Melissa will also be 3 times of the age of Sam next year? Can we say that? Cannot, okay? No. So you see that because they are in the different years, but for the times, for the multiple relationship, you can only use it for the certain year, okay? Can only use it for 1 year. Okay, next one. The age of Jimmy was 2 times of Sam's last year. The age of Jimmy is also 2 times of Sam's now. Am I correct? A, B, C, quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Okay, so again, it is no. Why? Because again, you can see that it is about the multiple relationship, right? 2 times. So if they are in the different years, so we cannot say that multiple relationship doesn't change. Okay, so now following this, let's move on to example 1 on your book. This is example 1 of topic 6. Everyone, can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, so firstly, let's read the question. Mother's age is 4 years of Yvonne's age 5 years ago. If mother is 27 years older than Yvonne now, Okay, so here, pay attention to the keywords. Let's underline all the keywords first. How old is Yvonne now? So firstly, you can see that there are some keywords. Let's just circle or underline them. The keyword here is for types of. So when you see multiple relationship, we always start from multiple. It is kind of like when you see addition, subtraction, and multiplication. What should you calculate first? You always start from multiplication, right? So actually, this is the same logic when it comes to the word problem. When you see multiple times, we always start from times. So here, let's have a look. How can we draw out the model? First thing, do remember to label out the year. It was 5 years ago, and then you can see the multiple relationship. So here, let's draw it out. Mother's age, 4 units. Yvonne's age, 1 unit. Then following this, you can label. Mother is 27 years older than Yvonne now. So 27 years should be the age difference. And we know that the age difference does not change. That is why Mother and Yvonne's age difference 5 years ago was still 27 years. Okay? And then you can just label out. Then move on to the calculation part. Do remember that when it was 5 years ago, we can know that 3 units equal to 27. Then what about 1 unit? 1 unit should be 27 divided by 3, which is 9. And what is the meaning of 9? That means 5 years ago, Yvonne was 9 years old. Can we see that? Okay, now I know that my answer is 9. Am I correct? Can we just stop here? Can we just stop here? Cannot. Why? Okay, good job. Because you see that the question is asking you how old is Yvonne now? So what about the last step? You need to add 5 more years, okay? From 5 years ago to now. So here you see that the gap is 5 years. So what is the final answer? The answer should be 14. Understand now? Okay, so always pay attention to the time. And also this is the most tricky part of age problem, okay? So following this, let's move on to the sum. The sum is a bit more complicated, to be honest. So here again, let's start with the same table. As you can see, 2 years ago, teacher Apple was 8 years old. Teacher Mew was 2 years old. So what about the sum? 8 plus 6, that is, oh, good job, very fast, 14. And what about 1 year ago? 9 plus 7, that is, excellent, 16. Okay, then following this, 10 plus 8. Okay, 18. And next one, 11 plus 9, that is 20. Okay, so here, everyone, now try to observe, and I have a question. Look, from 14 to 16, actually, this is only 1 year passed, but why do we need to plus 2 instead of 1? Why? Why? And also you see that 1 year ago to this year, again, that is only 1 year passed, but why do we need to plus 2? Why? Yes, also you see that from 18 to 20, we plus 2, but actually only 1 year later. Why? Okay, good. So actually you see that when it comes to the sum, okay, here everyone, please take some notes. The total sum of age changed by number of years passed multiplied by number of people. So actually when it comes to the sum, you need to figure out the 2 parts. The first one is about the number of years. And the second part is about the number of people, okay? So you see that what about if there are 100 people and then 1 year later, what is the total sum of age change? It should be 1 and then times 100. Okay, so actually after 1 year, the sum of these 100 people will increase by 100. And also, what about if I just tell you there are 1,000 people? So after 1 year, what is the total sum of age change? Correct, that is 1 times 1,000. Okay, and then what about the 1 million people? That is 1 times 1 million. Understand now? Okay, so you see that always consider 2 parts here. The first one, number of years passed. Then the second one, number of people. Then we just multiply these 2 parts together and you can figure out the answer. but this is only about the change, okay? Only about the change. Any question here? Yes or no? Yes, okay, I see that. Most of you already figured out. Good job. So again, are you ready for the third round of quick quiz? So this time I only give you 3 seconds for each question, okay? Ready? The son of Jerry and Timmy's ages is 10 years old now. So the sum will increase by how many years next year? Think about it. 3, 2, 1. Answer is okay, correct. It should be 2. Why? Because you see that next year, now. So actually, what is the gap here? Only 1 year, right? Okay, let's label 1. And how many people? You see that Jerry and Timmy. So here it should be 2. So following this 1 times 2, the answer is 2. Is it easy? Okay, next one. The sum of Ray and Tom's ages is 15 years old now. So the sum will increase by what? 2 years later. Okay, be careful. Again, 3, 2, 1. The answer is correct. The answer is B, okay? So why not A? Some students just say that you see here, Ray and Tom, they are 2 people. Why not 2 years? Because pay attention to the time. 2 years later, now. So what is the gap? The gap is 2, okay? So here, let me label out. The gap is 2. And how many people? There are 2 people. So that is 2 times 2. Yes, excellent. 2 times 2, okay? That is Ray is getting 2 years older. Tom is getting 2 years older as well. So here, actually, you need to plus 4. Okay, next one. Oh, this is a bit hard, right? If I just tell you teacher Mew is 10 years old, teacher Shirley is 12 years old, teacher Apple is 14 years old, so the sum will be what in 2 years' time? Pay attention. This is not only about the change. This is about the total ages. Okay, so here, what is the sum? Think about it. This one is a bit hard. A bit hard. Yeah, maybe I'll give you 10 seconds. Cannot be B, everyone. It is not always option B, okay? Please read the question. What is the logic behind that? It is not always B. I see that some of you students say, B, 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 master B, B. No, of course I will change the option. C, D. Okay. So firstly, you see that how many people are there? Mew, Shirley, and teacher Apple, okay? Teacher Apple is me. It is not a fruit, okay? So here you see that there are 3 people, and we know that their current ages here. So here we just add 10, 12, and 14 together, okay? So this is about the current sum. And then following this, you see that the 2 years time, that means every person will get 2 years older. So you see that how many 2 should we plus? It should be 3 times 2. Okay, 3 people, 2 years, multiply together. Any question now? Yeah, I see that some of you just said, teacher, there are 2 people only, Mew and Shirley. No, teacher Apple is also a person, okay? Don't just regard it as a kind of fruit. Yeah, okay? So, following this, let's move on to example 2. Can you see that on your book? Example 2. Yeah. Okay, so here let's have a look. 4 years later, an older brother's age will be 3 times of his younger brother's age. So here, everyone, when you read the long sentence, please try to underline or circle some keywords, okay? And then if the sum of their ages is 28 now, how old will the older brother be 4 years later? So for the first one, everyone, pay attention to the time and the multiple relationship. We always start from the multiplication part. So following this, let's label out the year, okay? 4 years later, okay, you can draw it out. Older brother's age will be 3 times of his younger brother's age. That means you just take younger brother's age as 1 unit and then draw out the 3 boxes for older brother's age. Then could you please tell me what is the sum? Okay, question. Why not we just stop at 28? Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay, correct. Because you see that the sum of their ages is 28 now. But for your model, you want to show their ages in 4 years later. So that is after 4 years, you will see that older brother will get 4 years older, younger brother will get 4 years older as well. Okay, so what is the new sum? Quickly, 28 plus 4 plus 4. What is the new sum? What is it? What is the 28 plus 4 plus 4? What is it? Okay, correct. So you can see that it should be 36, right? And 36 is for the sum. That is 36 is the total. Altogether, you can see that there are 4 units. 4 units add up to 36. So 1 unit is, let me check. What about your division? Quickly. 36 divided by 4, the answer is 36 divided by 4, the answer is is it hard for you? Yeah, it's 9, okay? But the question is asking you, how old will the older brother be 4 years later? Okay, so if 1 unit is 9, and then what about the 3 units? Correct, that is 9 times 3. What is the answer? Okay, good job. It should be 27. Okay, yes, so easy. So again, here I want to mention that in a real competition or in a real test, don't forget to fill in the answer. Okay, don't forget to write down your answer statement. So the answer statement of this question is the older brother will be 27 years old 4 years later. Okay, good job. So now let's do some practice. The sum of a father's age and his son's age is 60. The father's age was 3 times of his son's age 8 years ago. How old are they now? So firstly, everyone, please take out a piece of blank paper, okay, and take out your pencil. Let's draw out the model together quickly. For the first thing, when you get the question, what should we do? Underline some keywords, okay? So now you see that we know the sum, we know the multiple. As long as you can see times, we always start from times. But do remember that times can only be used for 1 year, so you need to label out 8 years ago. Okay? Quickly, take out your paper and the pencil. Yes. So now following this, let's label out the name. How many people are there? How many people are there? How many? 2, correct. So you can see father and son. So to make it easier, everyone, maybe you just write down the first capital letter, write down F and the S. Okay, quickly. Write down F and the S. Okay, and then following this, we start from 1 unit. The father's age was 3 times his son's age 8 years ago. Okay, so here, draw it out. 1, 2, 3. Do you finish? I think this question is not on the book. Okay. Yes, and then following this, could you please tell me what was the sum? Yes, everyone, just tell me what is the sum here? 8 years ago. Remember that your model is just focused on 8 years ago. We know that their current ages is 60 altogether. So what about 8 years ago? Think about it. What is 8 years ago? I see that some of you said still 60. No, it is not 60. What is it? 8 years ago, that is everyone will be 8 years younger. Correct, it should be 44. How come you got 41? 60 minus 8 minus 8. That is 44, okay? Yes, 44. So following this, you see that the 44 is the sum of their ages when it was 8 years ago. So 4 units equals to 44. 1 unit is 11. But can we say that the answer is 11? What is the question asking you? What is the question asking you? Correct, the question is asking you how old are they now? So what is the meaning of 11? Yeah, 11 is just for the son's age 8 years ago. So what should we do then? Yes, so following this, let's have a look. In order to figure out the son's age, you need to base on 11 add another 8. And what about the father? That is 3 times 11 and then plus another 8. Okay, so you can see that the final answer should be 41 and 19 years old, respectively. Yes, it should be 41 and 19, okay? And also here, everyone, I want to share another tip with you. That is how do we check the answer. Now you see that after you figure out 41 and 19, the time is now. So here you just add them together. 41 plus 19, that is 60, which means our answer is correct, okay? Do remember to double check your answer. Understand now? Yeah. Okay, don't forget it, okay? In the end, you can double check. Yes. Okay, let me erase my smiling face. So for like this, I think this question is on your book. To be honest, this is a P2 question, but it is a bit tricky. So maybe you can have a try first, everyone. Let me help you read the question. 2 years ago, Tom was 4 times as old as Bob. 3 years from now, the sum of their ages will be 30. So what is the difference between their ages now? The question is asking you what is the difference. And what can you get? You can only get 2 years ago, 3 years from now. Okay, so think about it. What should we do? Where should we start? Where should we start? Okay, correct. We always start from times, okay? So here you can see that when can you find a multiple relationship? It is only when 2 years ago you can find it. So here, let's draw it out. 2 years ago, okay? Actually, I also add this question in your homework this week. So here, maybe everyone, you can just follow me to do some workings, or later you can just take a screenshot, okay? So following this, let's have a look. 2 years ago, okay, draw out the, write down the name, Tom and Bob. So now we know that the Tom was 4 times. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we know that the 3 years from now, the sum of their ages will be 30. So could you please tell me what was the sum of their ages when it was 2 years ago? Have a try. What was the sum? We know that 3 years from now, the total will be 30. So what about 2 years ago? Think about it. 15? No. What was the sum? So far, I cannot see the correct answer. No. Okay, so here, everyone, let me show you. Okay, this is a timeline. Sorry. This is a timeline, and you can see that this is now. Okay, let me label N-O-W. Okay, this is now. And then you see that 2 years ago. So here, we just minus 2. Then 3 years from now. So here, maybe I just label plus 3. Okay, so here, let's try to figure out the total gap. From 2 years ago to now, the gap is 2 years. From now to 3 years from now, the gap is 3 years. So what is the total gap? So you can see that here, actually it should be 2 and then plus 3. Altogether, it is 5, okay? So how can we figure out the sum of their ages 2 years ago? That is, you based on 30 minus 5 minus 5. So it should be 20. Then following this, you will see that it is super easy. 5 units equals to 20. So 1 unit is 4. And then, do we still need to figure out their exact age? No. Why? Here, everyone, you can see that the question is asking you what is the difference. And we know that the age difference doesn't change. That is, no matter it was 2 years ago, or it is now, or it is 3 years from now, the age difference should be always the same. So here, actually, just based on your model, you can figure out what is the difference. The difference is 3 units, right? And then we know that the 3 units, actually, that is 3 times 4, that is 12. Understand now? Yeah. This question is a bit tricky, but you see that the most important part is you must just be super clear about which year you are calculating. And that is why we always label the time on the top. Any question now? Okay. So following this, one more. Mrs. Lim is 41 years old and her daughter is 14 years old. Okay, so actually I want to also emphasize a bit more about the such type. You will see that for some questions, they just tell you the exact age. So now you see that the 41 years old, that is the exact age of Mrs. Lim. And her daughter is exactly 14 years old. And then the question is asking you how many years ago was Mrs. Lim 4 times as old as her daughter. Again, when you see times, we always start from multiple relationship. So following this, you can see that a few years ago, okay, just a label out because actually you don't know how many years ago, right? Okay, so here following this, we just label a few years ago and then write down the name. Then we know that Mrs. Lim 4 times as old as her daughter. So here, daughter's age can be regarded as 1 unit. And Mrs. Lim's age can be regarded as 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then following this, what can we label? Everyone think about it. Can we just label the sum? Can we say that the sum is 41 plus 14, that is 55? Am I correct? Yes or no? Cannot. Why? Okay, good. Because we know that the sum is always related to the years and the number of people. We only know that there are 2 people, but do you know that how many years? No. So any other thing we can label? Yes, any other thing we can label? Correct. You can see that the difference doesn't change. Okay, so what is the difference? According to their current ages, you can see that the difference is just the difference of 41 and 14, right? So here, let's label out. Difference should be 27. And then 3 units equals to 27. Just label out. 1 unit should be 27 divided by 3, which is 9. But again, can we just say that the answer is 9? Cannot. Why? Because the question is asking you how many years ago. So that is a few years ago, her daughter was 9 years old. So how many years ago? You see that her daughter is 14 years old now. So that is 14 minus 9, which is 5. Okay. Yeah, this is in the book. The basic part. The basic exercise of topic 6. Okay. So another extension. Jessica's age is twice as Derek's age now. If Jessica's age 8 years ago is equal to Derek's age 6 years from now, how old is Jessica now? So this is again another type of the word age problem. So here again, we already know that as long as you can see multiple relationship, we always start from multiple relationship, right? So can you find the keyword? Twice, okay? So now you see that according to the question, we know that Jessica's age is twice as Derek's age now. Then you can just draw out the unitary model. Derek's age can be regarded as 1 unit, and Jessica's age can be regarded as 2 units. And then the question is, what else can we label? Let's have a look. If Jessica's age 8 years ago, that means for the bar model of Jessica's age, you need to cut a bit, right? So here, let's label out. Cut 8 is equal to Derek's age 6 years from now. 6 years from now, that means Derek will be a bit older. So here, let's draw the extension part. Then following this, everyone, could you please tell me what is the difference here? What is the value of 1 unit? Can you find it? Can you find it? Okay, so you can see that for 1 unit, actually it is just 6 and then plus 8, then you will get 14. So if 1 unit is 14, and do remember to focus on your time. Now, you see Jessica's age is twice as Derek's age. So we know that how old is Jessica now? She should be 14 times 2, which is 28. Okay, so the answer is 28. The extra part is 14. That means actually the equal part is also 14. This is the basic unitary model. Okay. So here, let's have a quick summary when it comes to the age problem. Here, everyone, maybe you can just take a screenshot of this page, okay? So basically, you need to understand the 3 different types of relationship. Firstly, it is about the difference. Age difference always remains the same. That is, when you grow older, I grow older as well. The second one is about the change in sum of ages. That is related to the years passed and the number of people. You just multiply these 2 parts together. And the last one, when you see times, when it comes to multiple relationship, so here, do remember that you can only use the relationship for 1 year. Okay, so here, everyone, please take a screenshot of this page. Yes. Okay. So the last type. Yeah, the last type. Maybe okay, move on. The older brother is 15 years old this year, and the younger brother is 3 years old. When the younger brother becomes the same age as the older brother now, the older brother will be how many years old? So here, everyone, you see that for such problem, it is about the win-win type of win-win. That is when someone becomes the same age as the other person and how old will be the other person be. So firstly, what should we do? Here, everyone, you see that maybe you just draw out an arrow first, and then let's try to label out. You see that older brother and the younger brother. Okay, so firstly, sorry. Okay, so following this, you can just label. We know that the older brother is 15 years old this year, and the younger brother is 3 years old, right? Okay, so here, let me change the color. When the younger brother becomes the same age as the older brother now, that means actually after how many years? How many years later? Correct. That is 12 years later, right? 12 years later, can we say that, okay, both of them have the same age? Is it correct? Cannot. Because when the younger brother is getting older, the older brother should be even older, right? So here, for the older brother also, we need to plus what? Plus 12. Okay, so here, plus 12 as well. So you can see that how old will the older brother be? That is 15 plus 12, which is 27, correct? I think this one should be easy for you, right? Okay, I just want to show you a new method. That is here, we don't draw the model when it comes to the win-win type. Here, we draw the arrow. Okay, so for this one, maybe I just skip it. Later, I will share in our group. Okay, let's move on to example 3 first. Nicole says to her sister, when I reach your age, you will be 35 years old. And her sister says to Nicole, when I was your age, you were only 2 years old. So how old are Nicole and her sister? Again, you see that what is the type? It is about the win-win type, okay? When I reach your age, you will be how old? And when I was your age, you were only how many years old? Okay, so here, let's have a look. Firstly, let's draw out the arrow. And then you can label Nicole's current age and her sister's current age. Okay, and then following this, let's have a look. According to the question, according to the first sentence, when I reach your age, let's have a look. Okay, here I use a yellow star to represent Nicole's current age. When I reach your age, okay, her sister will be older as well. Her sister will be older. Okay, a red star. Her sister will be 35 years old. So where is the 35? Label on the arrow. Okay, 35 is the rightmost point. And according to the second sentence, when I was your age, you were only 2 years old. When I was your age, look here, was your age, you were only 2 years old. Again, Nicole was younger, right? So here, let's label out 2. So following this, you can see that no matter how many years later, their age difference will always be the same. That means actually for the arrow part, it is always the same. 1, 2, 3. So you can see that in between them, there are 3 differences. And could you please tell me what is the sum of these 3 parts? What is the sum of these 3 parts? That is, okay, so you can see that it should be 35 and then minus 2. And then what should we do? Oh, sorry. 35 minus 2, and then what should we do? Yeah, this is the gap. And how many differences can you see in the gap? 3, right? So what is the age difference? Should be 35 minus 2, and then divided by 3. That is, for the difference, it is 11. Okay, and then you can label 11, 11, 11. And then, based on the difference, you can figure out Nicole's current age. That is, we start from 2, okay, and then 2 plus 11, then you will get 13. Then what about her sister's age? That is, you just plus another 11. Or you can just use the 35 here, and then minus 11. Also, you can get the answer, okay? So do remember to write down the answer statement. That is, Nicole is 13 years old, and her sister is 24 years old. Understand now? Okay. So actually, this is the end, everyone. And for the next week, actually, it is Chinese New Year. So for the next lesson, we will start on February 4th. And the topic is about the access and the shortage problems. It is topic 7 on your book, okay? And do remember that, again, later I will share the homework in our group, and please submit your answers by 9 p.m. before next Monday. Do you still remember that how to submit your homework? Yeah, firstly, you just click the link, and then you can try to finish all the questions on your paper first, and then submit your answers, okay? Oh, and after this, please share the screenshot in the group so we can take a record, and we will help you accumulate some stars. As long as you can get 5 stars, you are able to exchange for some gift on our offline centers. Okay. And also here, kindly remind that the second round of monthly mock test is open for registration now. And everyone, if you just register before 20, let me try. Okay, before 11:59 p.m. on tomorrow, you can get $10 off. And the mock test is free for all the current students in Think Academy. So if you haven't registered, please do remember to scan the QR code, okay? And to be honest, the practice of this week will be a bit challenging, but everyone, please don't give up easily, okay? If you have any question, you can just ask Teacher Apple or ask the Teacher Mew. And also, you can just ask in our group, okay? Anyway, as long as we see that, we will help you to solve the problem. And do remember that for this topic, actually, basically, you need to know how to draw out the arrow or the model. So here, don't just think everything in your mind, okay? Please take out a pencil and draw something, okay? So this is the end, everyone. See you next week, okay? Happy Chinese New Year. Bye-bye.